Whatever knowledge and skill you have today, it is becoming rapidly obsolete. And the new skills or knowledge which is coming up is doubling at a faster pace. And if you do not quickly learn these new skills and knowledge, you will surely become irrelevant in whatever industry you are in today. It's time to quickly learn through self-education. We all grew up with people telling us education is the key to success. But here the question is, which type of education leads to the most success? It is rarely explored in much depth. The type that focused on the most is always formal education. The standard advice from a decent parent is work hard in school to get good grades. Get a degree if you want to be successful. It's not a bad advice by any means. It is the first thing you should do, but it's not the most important thing you should do. What's more important to become a massive success is to educate yourself about your life. And in the rest of this video, I will be explaining why that is and how you can start doing it more consistently. Formal education is the default, the first thing that comes to mind when someone says that the word education, because that's the type we will all become familiar with early on in life. The first stage of formal education is all about basic skills: reading, writing, and understanding the use of money or follow instruction. It also includes basics of socialization or social studies, history, geography, general knowledge, etc. This is the first stage and about being able to fit in with people around you, and it is finished by the early teenage life or teenage years. The basic skills are done, and what follows is effectively a competition to find out who is the best at a certain set of tasks. The popular book on entrepreneurship, 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel, calls this stage the tournament. The tournament is designed to focus more on being a competitor. By this tournament, students end up defining their entire identity based on the marks scored, and those who don't to be made to feel inferior. The problem with this is that the skills required to succeed in the tournament are not the skills needed to succeed in life. In the tournament, if you perform well, then you can get into a good university. Later, things really ramp up for the people who won the previous stage. They must compete with smaller, tougher group of opponents, while the ultimate aim is getting a conventional high-wage job. Also, the technological progression is accelerating so quickly that the jobs people are trained for often don't exist by the time they finish the training. In addition to this, much higher proportion of people now have access to higher education, meaning that its value in the marketplace has been massively diluted. Having a degree is now no guarantee of good job. If you do manage to get one through the method, the old level of job security has also been removed, more important than ever before. Motivational speaker Jim Rohn once said, "Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune." This is because formal education will make you above average at best. After all, you are only learning the same things as most other people. To be exceptional, you need to learn things for yourself. The first big advantage of self-education is that you can get the exact skills you want instead of going through the same structure as everyone. Standard education will get you standard results. Check for those people with standard education. If that's what you want to be or fit, or if it isn't, if you want something better than standard, you must become self-educated. So read, listen good books and observe successful people. You can learn from negative as well as positives. Bible and other religious books is such a great book because it is a collection of human stories on both sides of the ledger. One list of human story is in Bible is called example. Do what these good people did. And the other list of human story is called warnings. Don't do what these clods did. There is a wealth of information what to do and what not to do. I think it also means, however, that if your story ever gets in somebody's book, make sure they use it as an example, not a warning. There are three ways to learn from other people and educate yourself. Now, here is a quick review of these three ways to learn to how to educate yourself. Importance of self-education, which is already explained in my previous slides. Now we'll go through three ways to learn from others. And thirdly, finally, three types of investment to make to be self-educated. The first is to listen to the audiobooks and read the books by and about people who have accomplished great things. All the successful people around the world are good readers. They just read and read. They are so curious that they are driven to read because they just want to know more and more. It is one of the things they all have in common. Here's a good phrase. All leaders are readers, and they use audiobooks too, especially while they are in the car or during other times when they can't read. Audiobooks can help all of us easily pick up new ideas and new skills. Did you know that there are audiobooks and books on how to be stronger and more decisive, how to be a better speaker, a more effective leader, how to have a better effect on other people, how to become more loving, develop personality, how to get rich, develop influence, become more sophisticated, and people don't use them. How will you explain that? Did you know that the hundreds of successful people have written their stories in books and told through audiobooks? People don't want to listen. Most of us have excuses. There is no time for all this. One can't stay up half the night and read. You may be good worker, hard worker and sincere, but remember, you can't be sincere and work hard all your life and wind up broke, confused and embarrassed. You have to be better than a good worker. You have got to be a good reader, a good listener. At least you could hear a good audiobook on the way home. Right now, you don't have to read or listen to educational books half the night. Although if you are broke, it's good place to start with. But here is all I ask, just 30 minutes a day. That's all. Sometime stretch to an hour if possible. If you can, but at least 30 minutes here or read something challenging, something instructional, at least 30 minutes a day. Here's the next key: every day. Don't miss. Miss a meal, but not your 30 minutes. You can get along without some meals, but you can't get along without some ideas, examples, and inspiration. Here is an interesting idea inspired by Brian Tracy to turn your car into a mobile library. According to a recent study, the average commute time for an American is 54 minutes a day. Instead of listening to music or songs, if you listen to educational or instructional material during your commute time, it will translate to 54 minutes of learning in a day. At this rate, you can listen to 2 average size audiobooks in a week, and this will sum up to 100 audiobooks a year. Apart from this, if you read 30 minutes a day, by end of the year, you will have read at least 50 books. Imagine the difference you can make in your personal, financial, and every other aspect of your life. After a year with a wealth of knowledge that comes from listening and reading 150 books within a few years, you will be at the top of your field. There's a Bible phrase that says humans cannot live on bread alone or food alone. It says the next most important thing to bread is words. Words nourish the mind, words nourish the soul. Humans must have food and the words to be healthy and prosperous. Make sure you have good diet of words every day. Some people read so little that they have rickets of the mind. And remember, to properly feed the mind, you must have good balance. Don't just read or listen to the easy stuff. You can't live on mental candy. Here's a thought, why not call a good books and good audiobooks tapping the treasure of ideas? That's it, tapping the treasure of ideas like you're doing now with this video session. And if somebody's got a good excuse for not tapping the treasure of ideas for at least 30 minutes every day or spending the money and getting the books, if you are not in the habit of reading or listening to audiobooks, I recommend you first read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and make sure to read at least five times, because repetition is the mother of all skill. With lots of repetition, you will find some of the ideas in that book. You will make major changes in your life. The book is worth thousands and you may buy it for pennies. When I bought and read the book, I learned a very valuable lesson. There can be a great deal of difference between cost and worth of this book. Then on, I started basing my life on worth instead of cost, and everything changed. This is the one book I recommend, Think and Grow Rich. The next book I recommend on nutrition. You must study nutrition. Vitality plays an important part in doing well. Some people don't do well because they don't feel well. It's not that they are not intelligent, it is that they are ill. They don't have the fire and the vitality to do well. Bible phrase that says many times the spirit is willing but the body is weak. So you must work on both. You wake up in the morning and the mind says let's get up and do, and the body says I can't even get out of the bed. So focus on your health. Read books on nutrition. Work on your self-help personal library of books and audiobooks. Read all the books. Here's a good news. You don't have to read them all at once. Try two books a week. The books will greatly influence all the dimensions of your life. Well, here's what exciting. It's only 2 books a week. If you haven't read 2 books a week for the last 10 years, you are about 1,000 books behind. Can you imagine the incredible disadvantage it will be 10 years from now to stride into the marketplace of thousands books behind? For some confrontations you won't be able to match, and for some opportunities your knowledge will be too lacking. For some values your philosophy will be too shallow. Missing skills, missing knowledge, missing insight, missing values, missing lifestyle. It could happen if you don't read the books. Remember, the books you don't read won't help you. And if you can't read too many books immediately, but you can read at least a few. The second way to learn from others is to listen. Become a great listener. Get around the successful people and listen. Listen to what they say and listen to how they say. The second way to learn from others is to listen. Become a great listener. Get around the successful people and listen. Listen to what they say and listen to how they say. And never has listening to successful people been easier or costly than it is today. You can own audiobook programs by and about the most successful people in the any field of you, and you can listen to their ideas while you do something else, while driving your car, while exercising, while getting dressed in the morning. Anytime listen repeatedly until their ideas becomes your ideas, their inspirations becomes your inspiration. At library of great authors and ideas, it can be the investment with greatest return of all great audiobooks or insightful seminars. It will do more than teach you great ideas. They'll also remind you of the important things you already know, but sometimes forget. They'll lift your spirit. They'll keep your mind on what's important, on your goal, and how you can achieve it, and what a modest investment for the seeds of the fortune. Ideas well written, well spoken, well received, well learned, and invested can be a driving force or wealth and happiness. The third way to learn from other people is by observation. You are and will always be surrounded by people, whatever, whether or not they are close to you, each of them represent a learning opportunity for you. Don't be afraid to look at people who are in a better situation than you. Instead of being jealous, getting angry, or feeling indifferent towards successful people, study them. Observe how they make decisions, their habits and actions, their approach to problems, and how they deal with challenges. Try to find out what they have been through in order to be where they are. You will sometimes see that not everyone who seems to be successful really is, and that not all of them deserve what they have. Disregard these ones. But set your eyes on the real warriors who fought and went through hell to become the great examples they are today. Learn from them, imitate them. In the future, you will be one of them. You know, success leaves clues. Successful people leave clues. Spend the money, time, and effort. They are all your investment. Time, effort, and money, but the payoffs are so great, it's hard to compare the cost to the reward. Now, let us understand about these three investments to make yourself self-educated. First is the time, that is valuable expenditure. I understand to ask people for their money, that's one thing. But to ask them for their time, that's a major request. But I don't know any shortcut to this. It takes time, precious time. Time is a valuable investment. The time you spend is that much less time. You must spend time so that you can get more money later. Life has a unique way of rewarding high investment with high return. This major investment you are making now is listening to this video session. It could be that small fine tuning you need for major accomplishment. Next investment is money, and it does take some money. I have a great suggestion for the audiobooks, the books and the lectures, the seminars and the videos you need for a constant flow of ideas and inspiration. Set up an educational fund of your own. Take a portion of your income each month. Set it aside to invest in all the means for the search of knowledge. Remember, the best money spent is the money spent to cultivate the genius of your mind and spirit. Make sure don't spend more for entertainment than you do for education. Money is a small price for unlimited potential. Last in the investment is the effort. Effort is the work or exertion involved in performing an activity. There is a great deal of difference in casual listening and serious listening. listening or no listening. To learn listening that opens the whole mental and spiritual process is truly an investment in effort. Bringing heavy attention to bear that takes effort is a mental rifle shot to strike the idea and target. That takes great deal of concentrated effort. However, this effort, a high gear mental machinery, and it is the effort investment that opens the floodgates where ideas can work their magic for you in the marketplace. So I do not hesitate to ask you to spend in deliberate and consistent fashion the money, the time, and the effort. It's an investment and turns on the lights and opens the windows, sharpens the focus in product and wealth and happiness. Let's summarize what we have learned so far. Here is a quick summary for you to remember important points. Standard education will only get you standard results. And with standard result comes an average standard life. If you need something better than the standard, you must become self-educated. You must continue your education years after graduating from school and colleges. This is the only sure way to keep moving up the ladder of success. There are three ways you can learn from experiences of others. The first way is to read the books. There are thousands of biographies and autobiographies of successful people. These books can serve as a source of inspiration for the rest of your life. Books can also be a good source for finding solution to your problem. Someone might have taken the same journey that you were about to undertake and wrote a whole book on it, and learning from the experience of others, it can save you years of hard work. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. So whenever faced with any issues or a challenge, make sure to check out the books. The second way of learning from others is by listening. One way is to listen to audiobooks and audio programs. There are many good books. Also attend seminars and workshops. Many of the books have been converted into audio program which can help you, which you can listen to during your commute time. The other way is to meet successful people and listen to their ideas, have discussion with them, attend seminars, attend workshop, and take good notes. The third way to learn from others is by observing people. These are the people who are successful, do certain things repeatedly. If you observe them carefully, you can pick them up and adopt those things as your habits. An important keyword is pay attention. Don't miss anything. An important point to keep in mind is don't just study and listen to easy stuff. You won't grow. Read books that challenge your mind. Listen to audio program that stir up your imagination, and listen to positive as well as negatives. Listen to both sides of the story and take at least 30 minutes a day to read and study something new and better. Don't hesitate to invest your time, money, and effort in the acquisition of knowledge and skills. The best investment you can possibly make is the investment in your personal development. Such an investment always pays multiple rewards. I hope you have enjoyed this session. Before I close, if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel, share with your friends, like it, and help me to push this video to the maximum audience. Send it to your relatives and friends so that they can also get benefit out of it. Thank you.